Hey, full time movie fans. Welcome back for part two. Hope you enjoy. Let's get it.
It's the mindset of like that scene where they are two rocks just sitting
Oh,
on a cliff. Absolutely no dialogue is being said. Absolutely no sound besides like the breeze, right? And that's not some that scene could happen anywhere, anytime. They
yeah.
could have been sitting next to each other speaking. And why does that moment work the way that it does? Is because they said, what do we do to make this the most powerful moment of the entire movie, which arguably it is. And I think they pretty much nailed it. I'm sure somebody out there is like, well, they could have done it like this and it would have been even better. But you take away the dialogue, right? The audience's intense focus is directly on what's happening because they have to read to keep up,
Yeah.
right? You take away the rest of the sound. You take away any other thing that could be happening in the background.
Right.
You replace the characters with two very simple objects, and they're just focused on the sound. They're focused on the words on the screen
Yeah.
and what we already know about the two characters, like bare minimum, right? And it makes it extremely powerful. And that's a really cool thought experiment to like how the other moments play out in the movie, how the pacing works, because that's the slowest part of the movie
Yeah.
for sure. And it's all because everything else was quickly paced. Well, not quickly paced, well paced. Everything was
Right.
so perfectly paced.
Right. Right.
Is
Right.
action scenes were action scenes. The little in between breaks were in between breaks. The exposition was all like,
Seamless. Yeah.
yeah, and so that it could build to these other moments that were the necessary moments for them to hit. Like, I don't know. There's very few things that I've watched that understand that they have the tools to make the world work for the story, not the other way around. Um, and it's really nice when you see it, and it's very obvious to why they opened with a very small $500,000 weekend and then ended up making over $100 million, quadrupling the budget for the movie is because people went, "Oh, I don't know what this is," and then they go and watch it, and they go out and say to everybody else, "Hey, you have to go watch this movie like right now. Trust me, you won't regret it ever."
Well, and it's for those moments because I have to say, and I think I told you this when I mentioned Everything Everywhere All at Once. Um, Again, if you haven't seen it, you don't know what the heck we're talking about. So you shouldn't even be watching this unless you've seen it. Go see it. But
Yeah,
there's a scene where they're both just rocks with and later we with eyeballs on them
yeah, the
and
googly eyes.
googly eyes. Yeah, and it was some of the most heartfelt. Like I cried during that
Hmm.
scene. I was just like, what is going on with my body? I was like, they're literally rocks.
Yeah,
They're filming two rocks on an edge of a cliff kind of thing.
yeah.
And yet here I am like experiencing some of the deepest emotions I felt watching the movie. And it's like they're rocks and we're reading their thoughts or their conversation to each other. There's no audio.
Hmm.
It's just quiet. And I was just like, dude, this is amazing. It was one of the best parts of it I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I agree. I think when with everything you said, when it comes to like the writing and stuff like that, um, it's just so important and they pulled it off and they did it beautifully. Now, what about I really want to get into
hmm,
the cast because I mean,
like
come on.
all
And
names.
okay, I mean, I think we have to start with Michelle Yeoh, right? Like this
Yeah,
woman is incredible.
yeah.
Like her filmography is like insane.
So she's got Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Ugh.
Crazy Rich Asians. She was
Yes.
in Tomorrow
That's
Never
good.
Dies.
Yep.
Yeah, she's been in some good stuff. She's in Shang-Chi. I know you like that one.
Yes, she's in Shang-Chi. That's fair. Yeah, I do like that one.
Yeah, that's she's
What was it? What was it? She did a lot of movies with Jackie Chan.
mhm.
So because of Everything Everywhere at Once, I saw Crazy Rich Asians. I thought it was great. I thought she was great. but I really I started to like look her up a little bit more and see some of the other stuff. You know, one thing, what can you actually see the movie she did? One of the movies she did with Jackie Chan, was it one of the like Super Cop movies or something like
It
that?
is Super Cop, yeah.
Super Cop, and
92.
yes, and bro, she she did an interview and she was talking about how Jackie Chan literally came up to her and was like, "Yo, are you trying to kill me?" Like, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" Because everything she was doing
Mhm.
was taking it to the next level. And she was at that time, like, she had something to prove being a woman in the film industry, and them thinking like, oh, women can't be action stars.
Yeah.
And literally what the level of intensity that she was bringing, doing her own stunts, dude, she literally drove a dirt bike off of a ramp onto a moving train, and like that was actually her. That wasn't a stunt person.
Yeah.
Like, and then not
Those
only
movies are
that,
crazy.
she was hanging on to a side of a bus or something like that, or on top of us, and then she fell off onto the hood of Jackie Chan's car that he was driving,
Mhm.
and it like she did, that was her doing that stuff. And at that point, that was Jackie Chan's like, dude, he's like, if I'm gonna, like, I'm the main star, so like if I have to do stuff
Yeah.
that's better than you, that's why he was like, are you trying to kill me? Because like he couldn't let her one up him, so he had to, I think he was hanging from a helicopter through a
Mhm.
city at one point. So like the movie is just insane. And you know, Jackie Chan, he does all his own stunts, and he's very famous for that. But Michelle Yeoh, I mean,
Yeah, no,
come,
she's fantastic.
yeah, and I was literally, even just today, was watching interviews that her and that she was doing, and the Daniels,
Mhm.
and some of the other cast. Um, I think for her, this movie was so important for her. Like, but from what she said, I've been waiting my whole life for a script that allowed me to not just be, I guess the official term is like typecasted,
Mhm.
and to just be seen a certain way. She was able to act within the full range of what she knew she was capable of, emotionally,
Yeah,
dramatically,
and she
and
did.
you know, do the horror stuff, like do all the stuff that she wanted the world to know that she was capable of. And it was because of this script, it was because of this movie, and from what she has said in interviews, it was such an important script and movie for her. And I gotta say, I mean, nothing short of impressed with everything she did, to play as many different characters she
Mhm.
did, to switch up the way that she did. I mean, Michelle Yeoh, she's gorgeous too. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. I just,
She's nominated for best performance by an actress in a leading role, and if she doesn't get it,
he's watching you.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but like wars have been started for less. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. And so I'm naturally an emotional person. So like, even just talking about this stuff, like, it definitely like makes me feel emotional as well. So
Mhm.
like, just understanding the passion that she had for this,
Mhm.
you can see it so
It's,
clearly. Like
yeah, it's there.
she had to. I mean, like, there was no one better for this role. I think
Yeah,
it was definitely a labor of love. Now I think one of the biggest parts of the cast,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Absolutely.
I knew
Because she
that's
was,
exactly where you were going to, right?
bro. I mean, let's. I want to get talked to about all the cast, but Jamie Lee Curtis, I heard she literally, without reading the script, she heard
Oh yeah,
Michelle Yeoh was in, and she's like,
yeah,
"I'm
she
in."
was in. Yeah, they said you're going to be an IRS agent. She said, "Great."
And then they said, "You're gonna have hot dog fingers." She was like,
Oh, don't know what that
what?"
means, but
But
cool.
okay, like,
Yeah.
and I gotta say, like, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis also has an incredible filmography, and like, she's just
Oh yeah. I
she.
was surprised to see her. Actually, I was more surprised by the fact that I didn't know it was Jamie Lee Curtis until I saw the credits rolling, and I was like, "That was Jamie Lee Curtis." That makes so much sense. But what?
Dude, it's so good. Jamie Lee Curtis is incredible, but like, and she plays, yes, the IRS agent, and
Hmm.
kind of a like a secondarily main antagonist
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie, you know, just
Yeah.
coming after her as far as in the IRS and different. I mean, she's actually physically attacking Michelle and her family and like just a bunch of different things. But I got, dude, one of the most, and I saw an interview about this as well. The scene where she first successfully, I forget what they call it in the movie, but she like mind transfers to someone that she can fight, actually
Mhm.
fight. Jamie Lee Curtis's character has jumped off of a rail onto a second landing from a thing, and she's like trying to hit her or kick her or something.
Mhm.
And the only way that she could get her mind transfer so that she could fight was to, in earnest, say that she loved her.
Yeah. Which
And bro,
that's a good moment too.
I think she had her hands together and she said, "I love you." And like, it was just like, even that moment was like, oh shoot, she loves this. She
Yeah.
loves her. And I think in an interview when they talked about that scene, there was a guy who had worked on a lot of movies, one of the film crew, and he said that was the first time he's ever cried from behind the camera watching somebody act something out.
That's good.
And so, but you see
That should be like an acting like, I don't know.
accolade award or something.
No, it should be something they teach. That should be the exercise, is that you have to in earnest go up to somebody else that you despise in the class and in earnest.
Well, if they don't
say
know that they despise them, then they're like, and then you're trying to tell them you love them. You're like, oh, so you hate my guts.
Mhm. That's what makes it hard.
Oh, most people like to keep that kind of stuff secret, though.
Yeah, well, in acting, there's no rules, so.
Touche. But Jamie Lee Curtis's character was such an important part of the story,
Mhm.
as that antagonist, as that person who was kind of causing external friction
Mhm.
outside of the friction within their own family. Because that's real life, right? We have our internal stuff that we got going on,
Yeah.
our interpersonal relationships, the stuff in our minds, the stuff with our family. Ooh, family, right?
Yeah.
Um,
You pick
But-
fights and cause like little in your own brain wars with people
yeah,
where they don't even exist.
yeah, and then you have these external forces like Jamie Lee Curtis' character, and so Deirdre, I think her name is, and
Yeah.
so in the movie, but like that's real life stuff. Like this person isn't out to get you personally, but it's just like they're a part of a situation that's out of your control that is very, pressing and stressful.
Yeah.
And so, and I would say sometimes that in real life we villainize people that are a part of some friction, but they're not the cause of it, and it's not
Right.
personal. But we will personally
Yeah.
villainize
And
it.
you don't look at yourself.
And I think
go,
that's
this
part
might
of
be me.
Yeah, I think that's part of like it's actually physically showing
Mhm.
sometimes the mental things that we have. Like again, all these things are so deep. We could break apart this movie for a year,
Yeah.
and like we can go through all the different interpretations, all the different things that are in it. But I think that's a very physical, like we're seeing her become a physical antagonist, although it's one of those things that like she's not it's one of those things that like she's not necessarily after her, it's her job.
Yeah.
And so like we do that too. The person who, they're in a hurry, they cut you off or something,
Mhm.
like, oh, you hate me, and it's like they don't know you, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
They're
They're
living their
gone.
own life,
Yeah.
and maybe it conflicts with you in that moment, or maybe it's a reoccurring thing. But yeah, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Also nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Which this one's a problem. This one's going to be a real problem in the Oscars, because Stephanie was also nominated for Best Supporting Actress, which very rarely happens. It's two people from
Stephanie-
the same movie.
I mean,
So- Yeah, sorry, Jamie, but Stephanie definitely gets that one.
Okay. dude, please go off on Stephanie. Like, what did you think? Like,
For as little as she was in this movie, she definitely played her part. And there was a moment before the big reveal. Again, spoilers. Go watch the movie. If we're 35 minutes into this, and if you haven't stopped to go watch it, you're stupid. So go watch it. But the big reveal where it's like, oh, she's the bad guy is I think when I was sitting and watching, I was like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way she's not. But for some reason, when they still revealed it, I was like, oh, wow. And the explanation as to why she is the bad guy really fit. She played the range of like angsty. I'm not gonna lie, she pissed me off as an angry teenager. I definitely sat there and was like, you are being so rude for almost no reason. I get it. You're upset. Your mom's a bitch. But come on. And then it just keeps on like unraveling itself, and she plays the like malicious villain so well. The nihilism, the everything part. It's just I think she tied together the main moral of the story better than the other characters could have, right? Because you're talking about like Wayman's a very important part of like the growth to Evelyn, and even Daedra is very important to the growth of Evelyn, but nothing hits as hard as Joy, right? It's the moment where the like I feel like there's a point in the movie, and I can't pinpoint it right now because I'd need to watch it again. Uh, there's a point at which where you see the growth of Evelyn and Evelyn becoming a lot softer to everybody else. And then Joy shows up and she goes, great, Joy's here. I can just get her to stop. And then there's the like, you know what scene I'm talking about where Joy shows up and she's just like making everything happen all at the same time, all at once, some would say. And that's the moment where Evelyn's like, oh, this is me. I'm the problem. And I don't know how to fix me as a problem. And so she just it's a very beautiful thing to watch the two characters, and the two actors played it wonderfully.
Yeah.
It's the moment where they both don't change,
Mm.
but they understand each other.
Oh, so much to do. There's so much to say about this. Like here's the biggest thing for me is how I relate to this personally is I have that relationship with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's tough, it's stressful. Like there's very little understanding in how we communicate
Mhm.
because we see the world so differently. It's different generations, it's different cultures, you know? I understand that. Joy's mom being from China, my mom being from Korea, but coming to America and me being an American, you know what I mean?
Joy being an American.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I understand that. And like, here's the biggest and most important thing. And I think this is what the Daniels are trying to express as well, is just that like these things, no matter how hopeless they seem, there is always hope if you don't give up on it. Joy was ready to let go.
True.
She was ready to just go into the abyss and not exist. And Evelyn said, no, like, I want to be with you. You are important to me.
Yeah.
I resonate with that so much that like, for me and the people I interact with, but for the whole world, I want there to be compassion and empathy and understanding for each other. And it's so difficult because a lot of people can't get to that point of, oh, I'm the issue, I'm the problem. And a lot of people can't get past, there's a lot of times where people throw in the towel and they say, look, there's nothing more here.
Mm-hmm.
And yet someone says, no, there is. And I want to, it's extremely beautiful. It's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can apply this to so many different things in our lives and culture. Like you just see all the negativity everywhere on the news. And if you have any type of social media, you've been a part of it or seen it, like it is crazy. It is a crazy world out there. But you don't have to go to a different universe
Yeah.
to fix it and make it right. Is everything that you need to reconcile, to do the right thing, to fix yourself, like, it's all here with you, but it does require a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important part, like, as we like when you interact with Joy and Evelyn, and just Joy, or Wayman and Evelyn, and even with Grandpa
Mhm.
Wong, like, it's there's just so much to unpack here, and we don't have enough time to go through all of it, because there's just, but it's beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's difficult, and it's heart-wrenching, and it's all those things. It's everything.
Oh, and a part that we're not talking about, a very important part, I think,
Yeah.
is that they have consequences.
Hey, full time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more.